What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jeremy Speaks, and I'm coming at y'all again today with another video. And this video is none other than a couple of topics that I've been seeing happening on social media. How y'all doing? It's been a minute since I seen y'all, right? I ain't gonna lie, March was pretty dry. Okay, March was really dry for your boy. Okay, so like I have to feel like inspired to talk about certain things and things like that. And as much as I wanted to try to like dive into the Real Housewives of Potomac, conversations. It was really becoming a daunting task because, to be honest, I honestly feel that show is very tiring. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? So that's why you haven't really seen me talk about that, but I think you already know that anyway. So needless to say, we're here to recap the RHOP Part 1 and Part 2 reunion. We're here to talk the city girls fighting each other on Twitter. We're here to talk about J. Cole copping pleas. And y'all, that's another thing that I was so disappointed about. Like, I was so disappointed by J. Cole. If y'all don't know, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. I really started to get into his music around his KOD album. That KOD album really spoke to me because, especially because like I grew up in a household where drug abuse and stuff like that was prevalent. So to see somebody make an album dedicated to trying to pull the community out of that, I had nothing but respect for J. Cole. And I thought that J. Cole is a sick lyricist. Now, did I feel that J. Cole is top 3? That's to be determined. But like, first and foremost, I want to thank every single one of y'all for coming on in. How y'all doing? I want to thank y'all for making y'all way up in here. Hope y'all had a happy solar eclipse day. Hope y'all wasn't looking at the sun without no glasses. All right, we ain't trying to go blind and ruin our retinas. Amen. Okay. Now, needless to say, so I took some time and I watched Part 1 and Part 2 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Now, I'm only going to hit on specific parts that I really feel is pertinent to talk about, because majority of it I don't know. Like, so let's get started here. So in the beginning of the reunion, Andy was asking the girls about swallowing, Ashley swallowing Michael's semen and stuff like that. And I was like, in my mind, I was thinking like, how far have we like come that the most important topic that we can discuss on this television show is swallowing semen? Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm saying, out of everything for us to be talking about, that's been going on behind the scenes, outside of the show, all of those type of things, the first thing we want to do is talk about semen. Crazy work. Now, we're going to get it started here. So Andy had laid down a precedent to say that this reunion is meant for us to basically have, let's say, a come to Jesus. He said for reuniting, for, for moving forward, for us to forgive one another. And he asked everybody on their specific couches, he said, okay, Karen, are you in? She said yes. You ask Candice if she's in. She says yes. Wendy, yes. Mia, yes. Naka, yes. And then when it gets to Robin and Jazelle, so Jazelle is gonna say, I'm looking forward to the to the accountability. I'm looking forward to the ownership. If anybody needs to own anything, it would be Jazelle. Jazelle, y'all already know how I feel about that woman. I do not like Jazelle in the least. I don't think that she's a good person. I'm not just gonna relegate it to a specific TV show that she's on. I feel like regardless outside of the show how you are or not, the way that you present yourself on the show and the way that you carry yourself shows us a glimpse into who you are in your real life. I don't care if you're nice to everybody, if you're kind to content creators that you meet along the way. Baby, if you're getting on this show lying about SA, then I'm sorry. I don't feel that you're that great of a person. So I'm going to just say that. Now, I'm going to be skipping, hop skipping over different topics. Now, when they got to talking about Candice and Jazelle, they asked Jazelle, why does she feel so much vitriol for Candice? And why does she say that, it was a danger, to like have conversation with Candice? She goes on to say that Candice is, provoking, unalive threats by the audience. She's liking tweets and stuff like that. So Andy turns to Candice and says, like, well, have you been liking any tweets? This girl gonna say, yeah, I've liked some tweets. Now, the tweet that they decided to show us had nothing to do with any type of threats. It was a tweet that was breaking down the hypocrisy and colorism that's going on the show since Jazelle. Like, so I was trying to figure out, like, what is this production trying to paint? Like, what's the narrative that we're trying to paint here? Because y'all are not giving us any type of proof on what you're saying. So we just gonna go along with what Jazelle says because she says it. But then not only that, the fact that Candice is liking the tweets is only a response to what you did. Nobody told you to get on the show and say that Chris was unhappy with his wife. Nobody told you to get on the show and said that Chris was trying to see if you were down to get with it. Nobody told you to call him a sneaky link. Nobody told you to say that he made you go into a hotel bedroom. Nobody told you to say that he made you uncomfortable. Now, you being uncomfortable is one thing, but when you tie all of those other things that you said, Jazelle, it really paints a picture of somebody who is trying to coerce and force somebody to do something sexually that they don't want to do. And I know I'm not the only one who has common sense. And all of this is really just mind-boggling to me because Andy is sitting here like with blank face. And at first I was thinking, Andy, are you not trying to see both sides of this? But honestly, y'all, and I 100% think what I'm saying is valid. I do not think that Andy is watching this show. I don't believe Andy is watching the show. I think Andy does not watch these shows. I think that he waits until he gets to the reunion and get questions, and then he goes based on that. He's not watching any of the content that we're seeing. He's not watching any of the stuff that's being said in the confessionals. And to be honest, how can you? He is literally like over all of these different franchises. You have Dubai, you have Beverly Hills, OC, New Jersey, Atlanta, New York. You have, and not to mention the other Housewives franchises in other cities, in other countries that are not even on the show, right? So Andy turns to Candice and basically says, well, you liking the tweet basically, kind of contributes to what she's talking about. And then what is said next, even is mind blowing to me. So basically, Candice makes a point to say, me liking a tweet is no different from you and Robin getting on your podcast and talking about me and my husband. And then Jazelle is going to say, okay, but we only did that once because it was in the blogs. Last time I checked, I see a lot of blogs talking about the colorism on the show. Last time I checked, I see a lot of blogs talking about how you wrongfully accused, Candice's husband of doing things that we all know that he did not do. Y'all all sat there and concocted lies that whole season to come at this man. You, Mia, Ashley, and Ashley's hard-faced friend Deborah, right? I know I don't have short-term memory loss. I know I can't be crazy, right? And it's beginning to become a point where it's almost insulting to the audience, because I'm trying to understand, who are you targeting this show to? Who is this show getting targeted to? Because it can't be Black people. You're making a housewives show with women of color, meaning Black, not talking about, other races that like to claim, being women of color while doing nothing to help women of color being as Black women, get a leg up in this world that seems to dog them down at any moment and at any chance. Right? Now, from this point, right, we get another question. So we get another question basically saying, okay, Candice, how can you say that Robin is wrong for not wanting to share aspects of her life, but you said it in past seasons that, that you and Chris can, share whatever you want to share. Now, mind you, Candice has been one of the most transparent people on the cast. I don't care what none of y'all say, and I really don't. Candice blew this Housewives franchise up. When Candice came onto the scene, people started really paying attention and really watching it. Now, I'm not going to negate that Monique added a flair into the show. I may not like her like that, but I do know a lot of y'all do for some reason. Or whatever it is. I was never a huge Monique fan like that. I liked her in her beginning seasons, but as time progressed, I started to see weird stuff about Monique that really came to head in season 5, right? Now, Candice has been the most transparent, but Candice replies to Andy after he says this and says, I'm not going to answer that question because it's coming from a blogger who is in a group chat with Robin. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who this blogger is, I'm not even going to name him. Just know that the motherfucker got me blocked. Okay? And this content creator is somebody who exhibited a lot of signs of colorism, especially because he liked to tweet calling Wendy and Candice crunchy Black. And he's just really pathetic. He's a punk. He's a weenie. He's a cornball. I ain't gonna lie, he's a bitch. He a bitch. Okay? And I'm gonna just say it like that. He's a bitch. Okay? And every single time he's gotten approached about the topic of colorism and how he is deciding to come at Wendy and Candice, he has like this white fragile breakdown. And if y'all don't know what white fragility is, you can go and look that up, because I feel like that is exactly what we've been seeing demonstrated on this cast by Jazelle and Robin. I read a book about white fragility. I forgot the name of it, but I read it sometime in my second year of college. Right? Now, Candice says that this content creator is the person that Robin was texting talking about Jazelle, saying all of this stuff about Jazelle. And when she said this, Robin looked like she was shocked, because she was probably trying to figure out, how did she even get this information, right? So Candice decides to pull a big picture of the text messages or the DMs between this blogger and Robin, and we can see basically Robin having an issue with Jazelle, basically breaking that down to this content creator and saying that, does this look like she was getting yelled at by my husband? It makes me so mad. I think I'm gonna make a post or something like that. At this point, Jazelle is like, I'm not mad. You seem more mad than me, Candice. And it's so funny how they always have a united front. And once again, I'm just trying to figure out, who is the production team trying to entertain? Who are they trying to entertain? Because it's not the viewers. The viewers are making it very apparent and very clear that we're not here for Ashley, Robin, or Jazelle. However, these are the women that y'all continuously save time and time again to try to push into the forefront as the face of this franchise. And I'm trying to figure out, is this an executive decision? Is this on Eric Fuller? Is it on the Housewives production team as a whole? I don't know who to blame. I don't. But I think it's quite strange how whenever somebody is trying to make a point, if they're not Robin or Jazelle, they're basically made to look crazy. So when Candice had showed this, I was expecting Andy to try to dive into, why are you messaging other bloggers? Because mind you, this is what they held Monique up to. This is what they said Monique was doing. And y'all know I do not like Monique like that. This is what they said Monique did about the altercation, that she was going to blogs, that she was out here painting stories, and that she was out here lying and turning the public against Candice before the season even came out. Come to find out, you are doing the exact thing. You're giving out text messages between you and Candice, and you're also giving out, information amongst the cast. Why wasn't that talked about? Why wasn't that discussed? Because y'all damn sure made it a point to talk about it when Monique was on the show, when she was on the reunion. Y'all made it a point. But I guess we're just gonna move past that, right? So this is where I begin to get agitated. So Andy gets into the relationship dynamic between Robin and Candice, right? And he asks Candice, what is it that you need from Robin to move forward? What is it that you need? She couldn't even get it out before she started crying. And I'm just like, why are you crying? Now, I'm not saying that you can't feel emotions, or you can't be sensitive, or you can't express your emotions or anything like that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you literally have your ops on the couch and you're crying in front of them. Now, I was somebody who was a fan of Candice. I'm saying this in past tense because Candice announced to us that she's not coming back. So that's that. So Candice can, wrap girls up verbally and smoke them like a 420 blunt, right? But in this specific question, you couldn't even gather what you were saying or what you were feeling without coming to tears. And I just think that that's quite strange. It's quite strange. Like, you're crying over somebody who has made it known time and time and time again that they don't give a damn about you. That is insane to me, y'all. I would never be begging for no bitch's friendships. I would never, especially if you showed me time and time again that you're not that you're not loyal to me. Shout out to EACHOTHER for the super chat. They don't talk about what they do because the the Dolezal gang is protected by Andy and the production, and this is disgusting. I am done with RHOP. I'm done with RHOP too. Like, after this, after we wrap up all of this stuff with the reunion, baby, you ain't gonna catch me talking about this show. You ain't gonna catch me. All right, but let's continue. So at this point, right, Candice is crying. Candice is upset. Candice is trying to piece her words together. And Robin is wondering, okay, if you feel that I am such a bad person and you feel that I set up your husband, why do you even want to be my friend? And that was a valid question. Why do you want to be this woman's friend? She's basically saying, if you feel that I did all of this stuff that you feel that I did, which I probably did, why do you want to be my friend? And it's because Candice is a pick-me. Candice has issues emotionally dealing with other women because she probably has issues with her mom. So she always wants to be liked. She always wants to be selected. She always wants to be chosen. And she chooses to form friendships and bonds, although she may know girls do not like her. Right? That's why. That's why you're crying. It's because you want to be liked by Robin. You want to be liked by Jazelle. But the fact that they're not doing it is the reason why you're so upset. So when he asks you this question, you break into tears because, truth be told, you know that there's nothing really that you can say that you need from Robin to move on from this situation. You don't have anything to verbally say for y'all to get over this hump, because Robin has showed you time and time and time again that she does not give a damn about you, but you still have an emotional attachment to this, to this woman. And I understood last season when she cried about it, but to be crying about it on this season after all of these months, I don't know what it is, but it's coming across really pathetic. And I really hate to see Candice like this, y'all, because I was expecting Candice to read these girls down. I was expecting her to read these girls down because they have played in her face. They have played with her man. They have played with her friendship. They have played with her loyalty. They have played with her intelligence. They have played in every facet of her life with no repercussion. And you sitting here crying about these women who don't care. It's crazy. And this is why I can never 100% be behind Candice, because I'm up here like, you want to be friends with the girls who's literally driving you insane. Like, I could never understand that. You sitting here talking about you got a love-hate frenemy relationship with Ashley. No, you don't. I know you want to try to act like you got the same relationship that Jazelle and Karen has with you and Ashley, but that's not what this is, sis. She despises you. And every chance she gets to embarrass you, she takes it. And you're sitting here gagged every single time. And it's almost giving to me that the whole energy that Candice gave during this reunion was defeat. I feel like Candice was just over it. I felt like Candice was just defeated. Candice was, tired mentally. I feel like Candice was tired, emotionally, that she was just drained. It was like she had no fight. But when she decides to cry, Jazelle decides to say, I love those fake tears. Cry, Candice, come on, bring the tears. And she's doing all of these things. And Andy looks over to her and says, that's kind of mean. Kinda mean? It's extremely mean, and it's extremely venomous and evil. Like, Jazelle is an evil person to her core. She's a nasty, 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 nasty individual. And she is the embodiment of saggy neck and disgust. I cannot stand that woman. And the fact that everybody was supposed to be held accountable for their actions, but nobody seems to be getting held accountable except for Wendy and Candice is really pissing me off, because it's like, what was the point of this conversation at the beginning of the show anyway? You said that you was going to hold everybody accountable. It doesn't really seem that you're doing that. Doesn't really seem that you're out here trying to make it a point to point out the inconsistencies in everybody's stories. It seems that you're only pulling out questions to come at Candice. And mind you, he don't even come with these questions. They're questions generated by the production team given to him. And then he basically just recounts the questions amongst the cast. That's it. So it really begs to argue, is the production team against Wendy and Candice? It seems as so. It seems as so. The fact that y'all have literally protected this woman time and time again is crazy. So then they get into this whole thing with Candice and Wendy, not Candice and Wendy, but Candice and Jazelle, about the whole, Chris thing. So Candice basically says that a lot of anger that she has is because Jazelle keeps on lying and Jazelle keeps on changing up her story, and Jazelle does not get any repercussions about it. You literally said that my husband forced you into a hotel room. Jazelle says, I never said that he forced me into a hotel room. This is when the cast has to say, girl, yes, you did. You said he made me get into a hotel room, and Karen had to basically hold her to that. And it was like pulling teeth, y'all. She did not want to admit that she was wrong. She did not want to, she denied that she ever said that. She was like, I did not say that. I never said that. That never came out of my mouth. So she said, and if I did, I meant that he asked me to. Well, you know what? I don't think I can. Well, bitch, you said it in front of America. You already said it. You already put it out there that this man made you go into it. Now, and then she's trying to say like, oh, I didn't mean force. I just said made, and even if I use the word made, I meant to say ass. Y'all, if I use made in a sentence, like I say, he made me eat something. He made me do this. He made me do that. He made me get out of my car. He made me go into the house. He made me pick up those dishes. He made me take that bag. It's as if I am being forced to do it, because that's the whole synonym of what made is. It's an act of force. So it's like we're playing with semantics and we're playing with words. So basically all you have to say, well, I meant to say asked. And everybody is saying like, well, she just said that that she didn't mean it that way, Candice. How do you take that? Do you accept that, Candice? And Candice is like, sure. Now, when they go into the threats that Candice had towards her family or whatever the case may be, Candice says, I don't take responsibility for those threats, but I apologize that those threats are affecting your children. That was not my point to make. I did not want your children to be a point of contention about what's going on. And Jazelle reluctantly says, sure. And my thing is like, why is Jazelle mad? Why is Jazelle acting like she's been done wrong, and she's the one who basically has been victimized all over this? What you will not do, Jazelle, is play with people's families, play with people's husbands, play with people's freedom, if we're being honest, their reputation, and think that nobody can say anything back to you. And let's be clear here, the colorism conversation was happening well before Candice and Wendy came along, because people thought that you felt a colorist a colorism offense against Monique. But Monique was such a pick-me herself that she denied colorism was on the cast, even though the light-skinned women who she chased after validation of never accepted her just off the bat. She didn't even have to do anything. As soon as you said you had 3 houses and you was married, and your man got money and they don't have those things, they was upset with you because how dare you have all of these things and be darker than us and we're lighter than you. It was giving that straight from the beginning, and we all were able to see that. However, Monique was such a pygmy that she never brought this conversation up into the cast. And then when they asked her about it at the season 5 reunion, Monique denied that there was colorism that ever happened on this cast and says that she's just as dark as Candice and she's never been treated wrong. Girl, what? Your whole point of this season 5 reunion was to roast the shit out of Jazelle because she decided to go after the paternity of your child. What do you mean that you never experienced any type of colorism on this show? They've been going at you continuously. Ashley called you an alcoholic. Robin called you stupid. And Jazelle said that you be cheating on your husband. And you can never understand why they have this vitriol towards you. And it's because they were jealous because they felt that you did not deserve the things that you had because they did not have those. And light-skinned women, especially when they have green eyes, are raised up to think that they can get whatever they want and that everything should go to them first and you second. So therefore, if they are broke, if they are financially struggling, if they can't dress, and if they don't have no man that loves and cares about them enough to, lavish them with things that they deserve, then you shouldn't be having that either. Because how dare you? You ain't light-skinned hoe. That's it. Tell me I'm lying. I ain't lying about this. I know what I seen. Jazelle's response only perpetuates the colorism. Right. So we get into Karen and Robin. Right? So Andy asked Robin to say 3 nice things about Karen. She comes up, says she's a good mom, blah, 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 blah. Karen says that, she loves how Robin has the ability to act like a victim over and over and over again. And I'm up here like, okay, Andy, are you going to call any one of these girls out for not... Are we just only holding Candice accountable? Are we just only making Candice cop please and apologize? Is that it? Because it doesn't really seem that Karen was out here trying to move forward either. Not saying that I disagree with her for not wanting to move forward with Robin, but I'm saying if we're holding Candice to the fire, let's hold everybody else to the fire. But obviously, that's not this kind of show. My eyes are hazel, so he ain't talking about me. Listen. Now, they get in they start to talk about all of the stuff with Karen and Robin. Karen brings up the fact that I don't have to have your back. I don't have to do those things because you don't know what you want. 1 minute you're pulling out JBL speakers on people and talking about them behind their back, and the next moment you want them to stand up for you. That's not what this is, sir. Right? And Robin does this thing every single time that Karen gathers her, and Karen, basically, plays in her face. She does this thing like, why are you always so confused, Robin? Why are you always in a state of confusion, Robin? It's always it's like every single time she tries to go at Karen and gets read down, it's always like you're saying, that doesn't even make sense. Girl, you make no sense, Robin. I do not like these people. I don't. I will never be reviewing this show again. I promise. Cross my heart and hope. I ain't gonna say hope to D. I ain't gonna say that. But I'm saying I will not be reviewing this show again. This will never happen again. I might give y'all a third part, review. But honestly, I don't even think I have the ability to do that, to be honest. Like, I truthfully have an utter disdain and disgust towards the women of this cast. And I'm low-key talking about all of them, if I'm being honest. Right? Now, let's move on. So, we're supposed to be talking about Karen, right? And what she's going through with Robin, but somehow we get back to Candice when we supposed to be talking about Karen and Robin. And we're holding Candice more accountable, more accountability, more apologies, more, more. We don't have enough of you groveling, Candice. Get down on your hands and knees and kiss the feet of Jazelle and Robin and the rest of these light-skinned hussies on the cast. That's what it felt like to me. And I didn't like, and I understand that not Robin, but Wendy probably meant all well with this, but she taps Candice and says like, well, do you accept her apology? She owned her things, and I'm talking about Jazelle. She says she owned her things. Do you accept that? And now everybody's looking at Candice, and now she feels forced to accept something that she knows is not genuine. And she's basically saying that, like, obviously, Jazelle does not want to have a come to Jesus. Obviously, her actions and her words are saying that. And then Mia says, well, I don't think that. So she basically is getting forced and pressured to accept an apology that never really happened. And she has to give an apology. And we basically skirt over every single thing that Jazelle has done. Mind you, this whole thing is supposed to be about Karen. But once again, we back to Candice and Jazelle. And once again, this is my point, is that it's obviously a combined effort to villainize Candice and Wendy on this reunion. They want to place all the blame on Candice, place all the blame on Wendy, and just take all the blame out of Jazelle and Robin and Ashley's hands. And that's literally insane to me, because it's saying that that's not reflecting the reality of what we're watching. That's not reflecting what we've been seeing. That's not like, it's almost like you are purposefully trying to gaslight the audience, and it does nothing but piss us off and not want to watch. So therefore, I'm asking, who are you targeting this show for? And mind you, the people who do back up Jazelle, and I've been wanting to say this for a while, and I forgot to make this point before. People who really be supporting Jazelle and Robin and Ashley are white fans and Hispanic fans. I'm not gonna lie. And those are not the ones who are watching this show in majority. So how can you come into a space of color, of not color, but women of color, being black or biracial women, and tell them how they should feel about colorism, how they should feel about racism, and then tell two other women to get over it, and then try to villainize them for the sake of Jazelle and Robin? Mind you, all of that shit that they're saying is making the show worse, because they continue to try to paint Jazelle and Robin as some sort of victims. And they're not. And it does nothing but anger and infuriates the cast. I mean, some of the cast, Wendy and Candice, but it does nothing but infuriates the audience and makes us want to tune out. So my question once again is, do you want this shit to be successful? Why is it that we cannot hold Jazelle accountable? Why is it that we cannot hold Robin accountable? Mind you, Robin It's talking about that, she didn't feel like that she needed to, to bring her business onto the show and things like that, because, it happened off season. She says that she didn't believe that Robin did that Juan did anything wrong. She felt that, Juan is her husband. Juan loves her, and what needs to be said is said. And I was like, girl, what? What? And then it got so pathetic that Wendy was like, "Girl, your man should be behind you, trying to take some of the bullets that you're about to have to duck, because truth be told, if your man really loves and cares about you, they're going to make sure that you're protected, especially when their actions are the ones that put you in a predicament that you may not be safe in." And Robin is, once again, here she goes. She's like, what? Girl, what? It's like, y'all, I'm not gonna let these hoochies, run my blood pressure up. I refuse. No, I ain't gonna do it. Y'all. I ain't gonna do it. So let's continue this. So let's skip forward. So now we are on the second part. Oh, and mind you, I think that Robin felt like she didn't even need to have her husband there. Juan didn't even need to be there, because she knew damn well that that production was going to protect her as much as she really needed to be protected. Robin barely had to answer for anything. We spent more time talking about Candice and Candice's and what Candice has done, and how Candice has hurt Jazelle, and how Candice has done this, and how Candice has done that. Meanwhile, this husky light-skinned lady has not talked about her real life on the show. We're just supposed we just speed past that, right? Because we just need to focus on holding Candice accountable. This show is a joke. I promise y'all. If you still watching this show next season, you a fool. I don't care if Robin comes back. I don't even care if Candice comes back. I don't care if Wendy comes back. I don't care if Cherise got her bob wig from season 4 reunion and came back. I will not be reviewing this show. This is literally insanity. I can't. So let's get to the second part, y'all. Now, the second part was just as infuriating as the first. We get back into everything. Now we have a woman here who has hid her life from the public. Mind you, she getting paid to do all of this. She gets paid. Bitches are going to college, getting master's and doctorate degrees, and still not making the money that Robin was making on this show just to talk about the shit going on in her life. And she couldn't even do that. But we just skirt past that, right? Now, we start talking about the whole friendship between Candice and Robin again. Now, ask me why we're going back into Candice and Robin. Why are we doing this again? But y'all, I was so glad that they did this, because it brought so many things into perspective for me, right? Because at the beginning of this, I was like trying to figure out, based on the show, why was Candice so confused that Robin was angry with her when she was, lighting her ass up on social media, right? Robin had basically showed that text message. It said, she's asking me, why am I upset? Why do you think I'm upset? What you did was something that a friend would never do. Of course I'm upset. No. We now find out that that the storyline that they were trying to paint about Candice and Robin wasn't even true. Hold on, I'm sorry. My alarm going off. Wasn't even true, right? So basically, we find out that after the last reunion, Candice had saw that Robin had posted a picture of her hair and her hair was longer. She texted Robin and said, "Your hair is so pretty, long hair." And, Robin doesn't respond back. Candice asks her, like, "Are you mad at me?" And then Robin responds and says, "Well, I think my hair looks pretty nice for a pale, white looking woman." And I'm up here like, wait, so you were mad because Candice said what she said about Jazelle? And then, y'all, so because Robin does not even have a realistic meaning or point as into why she was upset with Candice, besides that she just didn't want Candice to break down the discussion of colorism amongst the cast, she decides to cry like a Karen, like a white woman. Like a racist white woman. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up white fragility. Hold on. I'm about to show y'all what I'm talking about. Let me share the screen real quick. I will pull up what white fragility is. Because I know some people have not heard that term before. All right, so let me share the screen real quick. All right. So right here, we have the term white fragility. It's discomfort and defensiveness on the part of a white person when confronted by information about racial inequality and injustice. Her indignant reaction comes off as quintessential combination of white fragility and white privilege. Meaning whenever a person is approached about racism and they're a white woman or a white man, and all of a sudden they become so emotional. "I just can't talk about this, and I just can't do this. I'm just so hurt, and I don't want, and this is an uncomfortable topic, and I just can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this." It's the white fragility, because you are so bothered by the fact that we're talking about racial inequality and racial injustice, because you know that you benefit from it, and you know that you are victimizing people with it. But because you want to continue this tyranny of social inequality, racial inequality, in this systematic oppression of these specific people, regardless of his skin color or their race, you will gaslight and then act like you were so hurt. And my question is, how could you be more hurt by the topic of race and the topic of injustice when you're the one who's on the privileging end of it? You shouldn't even be the one crying. And that's the whole point of white fragility, because it's based on microaggressions and the fact that people feel that if you talk about race and if you talk about injustice, it's a slight or diss to them, because truthfully, they don't want to discuss it. They want to act like it doesn't exist, and they don't want to share in those uncomfortable conversations because they want to continue the systematic oppression, because they know that they still thrive by it. Does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense to y'all? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense to y'all. Now at this point, Robin and Candice are going at it. This is when Robin says, like, being deemed a colorist is very offensive to me, and it's just very uncomfortable, and just I can't do it. I can't do that. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. I can't do that. It's too much. Oh my god, like colorism. It's too much. Oh my god, I am a light skinned, like green eyed woman. Like, what are you talking about? Like, colorism? Are you serious? Just because I've gone at all the dark skinned women on the cast, like I can't. And mind you, Candice is like, okay, I can understand that, but based on the household that I grew up in, you know, the topic of race was discussed all the time. It was not a slight to talk about it. And I can understand you being upset, but I never called you colorist. And this is when Jazelle said, yes, you did. You called us colorists. And then Wendy is trying to get in there and like, no, she did not call y'all colorists. Actually, at the top of the conversation, last reunion, they like Candice opened up the conversation by saying, just to be clear, I don't think that anybody on the cast is colorist. And Jazelle is literally acting like that was never said. Jazelle is such a liar. Jazelle is such a liar. And I'm not even surprised. And then when it goes into the whole colorism conversation, Jazelle is going to say like, oh, I went to Howard. I went to an HBCU. I was in Phi Beta Bye U. I was in this organization. I was in that sorority and I was in Gamma Gamma Tau Bow too. You know, I was like, okay, and like being a colorist and being a part of Black culture are not two things that are mutually exclusive. Mind you, these are the exact talking points of racist white people. Like how can I be racist? I have Black friends. How can I be racist? My wife is Black. How can I be racist? I got Black friends. Cause here we go. You're talking about like, how can I be racist? Like, I just can't because I went to an HBCU and I was a part of AKA, which is known as one of the most colorist, you know, sororities. I'm not gonna lie, just same thing with Kappas. Those two are known for being colorist. Not saying that all chapters or all of them are like that, but it's if you are in the Black community and you have knowledge of Kappa and AKAs, you know that all of them, well, not all of them, but they're all known for being light skinned. They're all known for being light skinned for the most part. You know that. You know that. And the fact that your dad is who your dad is, you know, it really doesn't surprise me because I'm not a stranger to history. I know that Jazelle's daddy was calling Barbara Jordan Aunt Jemima. And I just want to reiterate to y'all, let's talk about this again. Because I know a lot of y'all may not know some of these things, but I'm going to break this down for you a little bit. If you truthfully look in the history books and you truthfully look into civil rights and the history in the Black community, light skin and mulattoes, back then that's what they were called, were enemies towards dark Black people. And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them wanted to profit and wanted to be deemed better than their darker skin, you know, their darker skin counterparts. So a lot of times what y'all were thinking, trying to think that, you know, these light-skinned people were all like, you know, marching. Yeah, they were marching, yes. But they were marching because they wanted to be, you know, privileged as well. Not because they wanted equality. They would have been fine if white people said, okay, light skin and you mix mutts. Come over here. Let's hose down these Black people. You would be surprised how much of the percentage would have went to that side. Most civil rights leaders were colorists. Exactly. But RIP to her daddy though. I ain't hateful like that. You know, they marched for themselves. And now I'm not saying that this was all light-skinned and biracial people. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying a good percentage of y'all were that. I read my history books. I read my books of Black history. Okay? Now I don't know everything about it. I'm not a, I'm not a theologist. Well, I don't think that's what it's called. I'm not, I'm not an expert. But I've done my share of reading, and I know for a fact that a large percentage of the white population had caused the division amongst, light skinned, mixed, and dark skinned black people in the community, that therefore created division as we were all searching for justice. Meaning that you would hear them basically touting a lot of colorist rhetoric, right? A lot of colorist rhetoric, right? But we'll move on. Because I think I made my point. Now, this is when Wendy makes the point to say, like, don't y'all find it weird how we can't talk about the colorism, and we're just sitting here so uncomfortable, and it's almost as if, you were talking to a white person and you brought up the color, the fact that there's racism, and they're so offended by the topic, they're not even trying to understand the whole point of why you're being considered racist. And I'm saying a lot of people do not understand when you have hate towards a specific type of community or people, you all spout out similar rhetoric, because those are the caps and talking points of hate. Gaslighting, microaggressions, manipulation, goalpost moving, distraction, and repeat. The same way white people act towards black people is the same way black hetero homophobic people act towards gay LGBT, or just LGBT in general. And then that's the same way that light-skinned people who are colorists acts towards, dark-skinned people. And that's the way that a lot of black men treat black women. It's always the same talking points. Always the same talking points. Right? But let's continue. So we start talking about Mia and her mess. Now I'm not a big fan of Mia like that, and I've never really seen it from Mia. I think that Mia is pathetic. I do think that she was way more tolerable on this season than she has been in the past seasons. I feel like somebody whispered in her ear and told her that she just needs to chill for a second, because she was up the Green Knot Bandit's ass real heavy her first 2 seasons. But this season she kind of took a step back, because she realized all the hate that she was getting. So she's trying to walk a fine line of, of being with the Green Bandits and not necessarily igniting colorism conversations against Candice and Wendy. Right? But we get into talking about the paternity of her son. Like, this woman has no shame. She's saying that, that the guy that she's talking to thinks that he's the father of her child. Wendy ended up bringing that on to light. And it got so bad that Karen was like, okay, we cannot continue this conversation. Like, her son is going to have to grow up and watch this. And that's not something that just needs to be discussed free willy on this show. Like, her son has feelings. Her son is an actual person, meaning that he's going to be affected by the conversations that we're literally, disclosing to all of America and international countries. Who wants to be known as the little boy whose mom doesn't know who his daddy is? That's crazy. And it's crazy that it took Karen to bring that up and say that. But they talk about how Mia was going through it with a lot, with all of the stuff happening between her and Gordon. They had a falling out on social media. Gordon was going to TMZ and saying all of this stuff. And then Mia makes it a point to say, everybody messaged me and checked up on me except for Candice and Wendy. Excuse me. Now, I want to make it a point to say that I believe that Mia is full of shit. Now I'm not saying that she's not cheating on Gordon and she doesn't have a boyfriend. Obviously, I think those things are true. However, I believe that her and Gordon are in a conjoined effort to make good reality TV for this television show. So Gordon ended up messaging Candice and Wendy because he thought, and I believe Mia told him to do this, they thought that they would take the bait. But Wendy and Candice did no such thing. They kept it to themselves. They did not spray her personal information on the show. And then it went into, but you didn't check up on me though. You didn't check up on me. And then Wendy is like, but we are not that cool, but I had a choice to spray you because your husband came to us with this information and I didn't do that. So I at least have that much love and respect for you. And then she says, yeah, I can accept that. But Candice is saying, look, I didn't want to get involved and involve myself in your relationship. And then Andy is gonna say to Candice, you saying, words of support wouldn't have been butting into their relationship, but literally they try to villainize every single thing that Candice does. So how is she to know? Maybe Candice is feeling a little bit of what's the word for it? Paranoia, uncomfortability, because every time that she breathes, every single time that she makes a step, y'all always want to break down how she was wrong at these reunions while letting everybody else go scot-free with the fuck shit that they be doing, which is literally insane to me. But, they apologized for not checking up on Mia, and I'm gonna feel like, why are y'all apologizing? Mia not even cool with y'all like that. Mia is not really that cool with y'all. Mia plays in y'all face all the time. You're like, y'all are not her friends. So why would it be expected for Candice and Wendy to extend themselves to Mia in her time of need when she can't even do that for them? Like, you can't make this up. Y'all, I'm trying. I'm trying to get through this. I'm trying. Okay, so let's move forward. So now we're on to the topic of Jazelle losing her daddy. We talk about Jazelle losing her dad. They say that she was there, taking her last breath. Then they talk about the fact that Wendy had made the decision not to reach out to Jazelle when her parents passed. Jazelle gives a petty, thank you to Karen, and I say it's petty because she disrespects everybody else who did not reach out to her, like she's some type of kind force that has established an environment where people can reach out to you. Anytime that Candice and Wendy have tried to talk to you, you literally gave them your ass to kiss. So I don't understand why you felt that they would reach out to you when you were doing all of the things that you were doing. Now, on from this point, Wendy decides to say, well, Jazelle was talking about my mom when my mom was in the hospital. And Jazelle thinks that she really did something when she says this next thing. She was like, that's a lie, Wendy. That is a lie, Wendy. That is a lie. I didn't know such thing. I didn't know your mom was in the hospital. Wendy is like, okay, but you called my mama evil and she was in the hospital. Now, if you knew or not is not the point. It's the fact that when my mom was battling something and when my mom was going through some physical ailment, you were dogging my mom out. The fact that my mom was in the hospital or not is pointless. It's the fact that you disrespected my mother. And Jazelle says, at the end of the day, I don't have any apology for you because I did not know your mom was in the hospital. I just, I can't. I can't do this. I can't live my life this way, y'all. And I'm expecting Andy to say something. Say something, Andy. Say something. Andy is like, okay. It's always okay. All right. It's like, are we not gonna hold her account? Like, so she can disrespect everybody. She can disrespect everybody, and nobody holds her accountable. It's insane to me. Like, I'm like, what? So, mind you, all Candice said last season was your mama, and y'all tried to vilify her. Tried to say that tried to say that she said all of this stuff about, Mia's mom. So wait, so hold on, wait. Literally, y'all got mad at Candice because Candice said yo mama because Mia's mom was out here hitting crack pipes, right? But Candice said she did not know any of that. She just said yo mama as a response back. Y'all all claim that she was lying. How could you not have known? How could you not have known, even though Mia admitted herself that she never told you? How could you not have known? How could you not know? But skip forward to this season reunion, you call Wendy's mom evil, and she says, well, my mom was in the hospital, and you said you didn't know. But we all are supposed to just believe you, and that's just that? But we're not going to say your mouth. What about that mouth? What about that mouth? What about that mouth? Like y'all said to Candice last season's reunion, it's literally the same thing that happened. Mind you, you called her mama evil. That was a specific insult rather than your mama, which is something that black people say like we drink water. Sometimes I wake up and I just be like, your mama. Ain't nobody even next to me, but it's your mama. Your mama. If I'm hungry, like I might say your mama. If I got an upset stomach, your mama. If I'm a little constipated, your mama. If the employee at the McDonald's drive-thru did not give me my barbecue sauce, my 10-piece wing, your mama. Right? But skip forward to this reunion, and Jazelle had no knowledge. Jazelle, last season, parents are off limits. But now this season, y'all are so comfortable calling Wendy's mom evil and a witch. Oh. So now Jazelle says, I had no knowledge of that. I did not know that. Mind you, they still not showing it. Mind you, they don't show any of the footage to prove the things that Candice and Wendy are saying about Jazelle and Robin and Mia. They're not showing. They lost the footage. They can't find that footage. They don't have that footage. But they have footage of every single thing Candice and Wendy did. And it's like y'all are trying to manipulate the audience, but we've been watching the damn show. We've been watching the show, so we ain't gonna be manipulated. The only people who can be easily manipulated are the white and Hispanic fan base and Asian fan base, because they are low-key racist towards dark-skinned black women anyway, and it does not take much to manipulate them. They're looking for any reason to dog Candice and Wendy out. Lyric's mom. It doesn't matter if her mom was getting a BBL or not. That's besides the point. At the end of the day, don't talk about my mama. Period. Don't talk about my mama when your daddy is in the hospital with on his deathbed. That is not something that you should be doing. Don't talk about my mama, especially last season when y'all tried to crucify Candice for saying yo mama. Don't talk about how. So we skip forward and we completely forget every single thing that we told Candice to do, and we just do the shit ourselves, right? It doesn't matter why she was in the hospital or not. At the end of the day, you shouldn't be talking about Wendy Mama, especially when you had nothing to do with any of this. Wendy Mama didn't do anything to Jazelle. Say anything to Jazelle. So for Jazelle to call Wendy Mama evil was crazy within itself. Now, moving on. Now we get now we get into how Jazelle weaponizes her children. So this is when Andy gets another question, from the cards, from a person, who sent in these questions, one of the watchers. And they say, "Oh, so Karen, do you feel that you basically did not take a large enough stand against Candice and Wendy when they decided to make faces while Jazelle was talking about her daughter graduating?" Karen says, "Well, I don't really feel that it's my responsibility to keep anybody in line or to tell anybody what to do. I'm not in charge of any one of these women. They're all grown. They can do whatever they want to do. And truth be told, we all make faces." And then Jazelle says, "No, no, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, Karen. We're not going to do that, Karen. We're not going to do that because at the end of the day, they were talking about my daughter." And they say, and then Karen and Candice and Wendy are like, "Girl, what? We were not making faces about your daughter. We were not doing that. And on top of that, we congratulated you. And we even talked about your child possibly going into your sorority." And then Jazelle says, "That never happened. That never happened. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about because that conversation never happened. Never happened. Never happened." She just kept on repeating, "Never happened." And Candice and Wendy are like, "You remember that? Yeah. Do you remember that? Yeah. That definitely happened." And then Andy is getting some communication through his earpiece. And guess what? They don't have the footage. They don't have that. They don't have that. And Candice is looking like, Of course, y'all don't have the footage. Not surprised by that. Of course. It's pretty convenient, right? Y'all don't have the footage. Y'all don't have the footage of us having anything good to say. Y'all don't have the footage of anything, but y'all definitely made sure to show the footage about us showing, basically making a face. And to this day, I do not believe that Candice and Wendy were making faces about Jazelle's daughters. It was the fact that Jazelle was talking. They didn't want her to talk. Like, shut up. Be quiet. Then the husbands come out, y'all. Then the husbands come out. And this is when oh, hold on. I haven't finished all of the parts yet. Okay, I'm not going to skip forward. So we began to talk about the topic of colorism, like I said. We're all talking about the whole racism, the whole colorism thing, because they continuously to badger Candice after every single topic. It's like talk about Candice, random topic about Candice, random topic, talk about Candice, random topic, talk about Candice, random topic, talk about Wendy, talk about Candice, random topic, talk about Wendy, random topic, talk about Candice, random topic. Literally every they kept on trying to villainize Candice and Wendy. So while Wendy was getting into the whole colorism conversation, Karen is going to say, "Well, I think that honestly that this group of women is no better is no better group of black women to discuss colorism than these women here on this show." Who the fuck told you that? Who told you that, Karen? Because truth be told, sweetie, we trying to figure out why you said that Wendy was not a good look for this cast the first season. She didn't fit the look. What's the look? We still haven't gotten down to that, Karen. So no, you are not, y'all are not, y'all don't have the capacity to talk about this. But like I said, we move on. Y'all, I truthfully, y'all, I hate this show. I hate this show, y'all. It's so bad. This show is terrible. Let's hurry up and get this over with so I can talk about JT, like Young Miami and J. Cole. All right. So we move on from that, from all of that, right? The husbands come out, and surprise, 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 we're asking Chris about these cheating allegations, but that this random fugly woman made about him. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. I had no communication with that girl. I had no knowledge of anything like that. I had nothing. I don't. And then, Robin decides to pipe up and start asking him questions. So that wasn't you in the voice recordings. That wasn't you in the picture. Like the picture, like that wasn't you. And and mind you, Chris is like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Next. And I'm like, okay, so Candice, are you going to say anything? Why are we allowing Robin to question us? I was like, Robin, until you find a man that truthfully loves you enough to stand behind you in the face of adversity, you can't question nobody else here. Instead of trying to understand and the legitimacy of the DMs between this weird stalker fan and Chris, you need to be worrying about why your man was giving bitches signed hotel checks and signed hotel for portfolios down there at Maryland. Bitches was we talking about this, but the woman literally did a whole interview with Andy OK about your man and said that she was there to do some shit and she just didn't want to hurt your feelings, but she wasn't there for nobody else except for Juan. Why are we asking questions about that, Robin? It's so funny how you have the questions for everybody else except your jobless, broke, pathetic ass husband. I would have literally destroyed Robin. I'm just like, Candice just had to be completely, she had to be done. She had to be checked out. Ain't no way you allowing this husky woman to tell you anything about your man when her man is literally in thin air. We can't see him. He's not here. Let's question you about why your man is deciding once again not to support you. Your man is in motherfucking hotels signing hotel receipts for bitches coming out of Canada. Girl, what? What are we even talking about here? Until you can find how many licks did it take to get to the center of that hotel receipt that your motherfucking husband signed, Robin, I'm gonna need you to sit this out. Until you be completely honest about your lesbian tendencies, I'm gonna need you to sit this one out. Until you come to the terms in the fact that your husband don't like you and probably don't love you, I'm gonna need you to sit this one out. Until you come to the fact that nobody loves you enough to stand behind you and support you, I'm gonna need you to sit this one out. Cause bitch couldn't be me. It really couldn't have been. It really couldn't have been. It really couldn't have. But anyway, let's continue. Now, moving on, we get into a whole tiff between Jazelle and Chris. This is when Jazelle is constantly talking over everybody, putting in her, like, her 2 cents into the whole conversation between, Candice and Robin. And Chris makes it a point to say, the same way you feel how you felt 2 years ago when we all know that that was some bullshit is the same way Candice has the right to feel how she wants to feel. Like Giselle's like, okay, and okay, yeah. And then he was like, okay, yeah. Next. Then, like, I can't no more. Y'all, I can't. I ain't got nothing else to add to that. Y'all, that's it for that. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay. All right, y'all. Are y'all ready to move on to the next topic? I really don't have any more energy to give to this. I really don't. I really don't. Let's move on to the next topic. Okay. All right. I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna do it this way. Okay. So let me go here, child, because I just don't have it in me. So for those of y'all who don't know, the City Girls came out, I think, around 2017. They had like this really nice mixtape called Period that I really loved. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm 50% Floridian and 50%, Las Vegas. I am a West Coaster and a Southerner to heart. I exhibit attributes of both, right? Now, I seen JT and Young Miami literally start off from nothing, and they really gained a lot of popularity. After time had passed of their popularity, Jay-Z, I'm not Jay-Z, child, oh my God, but JT ended up going into prison to serve her time for credit card fraud, right? And Miami held it down. Young Miami held it down. Now, when Young Miami got out, JT got out, of prison, and I thought that they would continue on a greater heights, but that's not the way it happened. It's almost as if when JT got released, it's like the City Girls, their profits started to go down. Like their music wasn't hitting anymore. It's like the music started to sound bad. It just wasn't good songs. It didn't sound original. It didn't sound organic. And it just sounded like, frustrated, more than anything. Like, so a lot of their music didn't really hit the way that it probably could have or should have, like when they first began. And I began to think that, I feel that there is some type of turmoil between the two. I feel that, and this is just me, and this is just based on my own observations. This is just based on what I think. I low-key think that after JT got out of prison, I think that she began to feel a type of way that she was a rapper, that she was the one who began this group, that she brought, Young Miami along with her. And for some reason, Young Miami was getting way more publicity. Young Miami was getting way more opportunities. Young Miami was getting all of these things. Meanwhile, she's the one that actually has the talent. She's going to Met Gala. She's going, she's getting invited to this party with these A-listers, with these people. She's getting this show. She's getting this opportunity. And, JT wasn't getting those things. And just like I told y'all that the evil witch that she is, Nicki Minaj will swoop in when you are at your lowest and your most insecure. And she'll sniff that out like blood, like a vampire. And she decided to bring JT underneath her wing. Now, after she brought JT underneath her wing, y'all, JT started to therefore have random beefs with all of the women, coincidentally, that that Nicki Minaj was not cool with. Mind you, this woman had embarrassed JT on live when they did, get cool, and made JT rap the whole diss that she had got caught, rapping in the car back before she even got famous, and rap it on live in front of her to therefore humiliate her even more. But she continued to stay down with Nicki Minaj. Now, I had already known that when Nicki Minaj got her teeth sunk into JT, that JT and Young Miami were not going to be as cool. JT and Megan Thee Stallion weren't going to be that cool. JT and a lot of these other rappers were not going to be as cool. Is because to be Nicki Minaj's friend as an up and coming female rapper in this space, you have to like anybody that she likes and you have to dislike anybody that she dislikes. And when you don't do that, she discards you and she tries to turn everybody against you. And at this point, I feel like that JT felt that she really didn't have much legs to stand on because her music career with Carisha wasn't really taking off. And Carisha is doing all of these things, going to Met Galas, going to this party, making this amount of money, in this music video with Diddy, doing all of these things. And she doesn't really have anything going on like that. She has a relationship with Lil Uzi Vert, but honestly, that's more so a source of contention and embarrassment because all that happens is her getting embarrassed time and time again by her man and her having public spats with him on Twitter all the time. So to be honest, it's not really seeming that she really had a leg to stand on. But like I said, Nicki Minaj decided to take it upon herself to get cool with JT. And therefore, JT started to act weird. And this is in my opinion. And I think that is quite strange to me to allow the industry and to allow all of these people who really do not know you that well, all of these people, meaning the fans, meaning other artists that's in the industry, meaning other podcasters, all of these things, cause you to turn against somebody that literally you've been cool with since y'all was kids. If anybody knows Young Miami, you should know her best. You should be able to talk to her and tell her how you feel. She held you down when you was in prison. She kept the group alive. She made sure she stacked your money. She did all of the things that she was supposed to do. But somehow she's the weirdo. But I'm gonna get into this. So JT ended up getting into it with Cardi B, right? We all saw her and Cardi B fall out. Then, because of that, it ricocheted a whole nother thing with her and Glorilla. Now, her and Glorilla had been rumored to get into an altercation backstage at an award ceremony, and people were saying that Glorilla slapped the taste out of JT's mouth. And JT feels some type of way because Glorilla never cleared up those rumors. So when Glorilla mentioned JT in that song on her album saying, me and JT aren't cool, but I ain't got no beef with JT. JT decided to go at it with Glorilla. So therefore, her and Glorilla started to trade slugs back and forth. Now, y'all know how messy ass fans get, including the Nicki Minaj stand. So they decided to take it upon themselves to say, well, why ain't your friend speaking up on your behalf? Why don't your friend have your back? Why don't your friend, say she supports you? Why don't your friend do this? Meaning her friend, Young Miami. Mind you, you've been getting into it with a lot of people, having disputes with a lot of people. Like every single time you decide to have a nasty ass attitude and get into it with other rappers or other people in the music industry, why do I have to sacrifice my relationships with everybody to back you up when you are out here wilding? Like that has nothing to do with me. And I feel like that's Young Miami's stance in this. But I'm going to read these tweets off to y'all and we can talk about it a little bit more afterwards, okay? We got a lot of tweets to go through. Help me, Jesus. So JT checks Santana. He says everything will be addressed on the show amid fans wondering why Young Miami doesn't defend her online. Young Miami said, LOL. Sleaze Mirage says, you so late. She writes a question mark. Then, the Mirage fan page says the clueless role is getting tired. The clueless role is getting tired, very. And then Young Miami says, about what exactly? Put it on the floor. What's tea? And then this Nicki Minaj stan page says, you're a weirdo. You came on here putting LOL in the middle of JT arguing. Like, girl, you see it. One thing about them Aquarius women, ... The The clueless role is getting very tired, and this is when Saucy Santana, or as I think Kaya calls him, Silverback Santana, but that's what Kaya said, not me. But she says, stay in your Tory lanes, bitch. I don't like that we out here quoting Tory, that like that Tory Lanez line. I do not like that, but hey, it ain't my Twitter. Oh baby, the RCA check slowed down and you have enough time to engage in something on Twitter, because when them allegations was flying around about Little Miss Pissy, we ain't seen nothing. She said, this I'm saying she as in Santana, my agents call me every other day with an inquiry or a check for the doll. How much does Stan Twitter pay? There would be a TV show to address things you are so heavily invested and interested in. Tune in. Now, this is when JT randomly decides to get into this, but apparently JT had blocked Saucy Santana some while back. So Saucy Santana and me and the rest of the world are asking Feuds as to how JT can even see this message when she had blocked Saucy Santana. So it's obvious that JT unblocked Saucy to enter herself into this conversation. Now she says, and I better not be mentioned since I'm not in an episode. Nothing should be addressed without me. Who are you? You done gave yourself a position of power. You're not my power of attorney. Sit your ass down. And I'm gonna be like, girl, what are we talking about? And then this is when Santana responded back and said, sheesh, I thought he was talking about puffing those allegations just like the rest of the world. What the fuck are you talking about? Right? So then it continues, y'all. It continues. So it says, so this is the continuation of all of this. So Young Miami tweets, then she says, a bitch been sneak dissing me for weeks and I ain't say shit. What a bitch mad at me for? And then this is when JT responds back. She says, oh, Miss Mama, this your last day playing dumb. Echoing the statements that the Nicki Minaj fan page echoed. See a trend here? I do. So Glock loaded with an extended clip. Now she out here rapping gun bars like Nicki too. I can't. Child, if Nicki Minaj don't do something, she's gonna rap about her toting the Mac with the gun pack and toting the op with the brr and the gun claps. It's just too much. Too much gun violence. I can't. So what happens in the dark always comes to the light. This is what JT said. Young Miami said, I ain't jealous of a soul. I'm always like, go, bitch, go. I clap for everybody. I show love to everybody. It ain't a bitch I haven't shown love to. It'll be too much for me to tweet. I will like a sit down, Carisha, please. And this time, leave Santana at home. And I low-key feel that, JT is still homophobic. And when she be saying leave Santana at home, she's up here acting like Santana is some type of pet dog. Like Santana is some type of purse that, Carisha carries around with him all the time. Like, what are you talking about? Santana's not even a permanent part of this show. If I'm not mistaken, Santana only hosted like one episode when Young Miami was gone. But you talking about leave Santana at home like Santana is like her toy poodle. That's what she'll be talking about. Like, see, this is why you won't ever see Jeremy being nobody purse. I will never be an accessory to no lady. I'm not. We either in an equal friendship, but I'm not gonna be doing your hair, doing your nails, doing your makeup, being the butt of your jokes, because people really start feeling like you an accessory. And that's how she looks at him. So JT says, I know I come off crazy, but never in my life did no whack shit to this girl. She literally enjoys seeing me be dragged. When people show me love, she goes crazy and call it a hate train. But like I said, we can sit and talk about it. It would have been nice if you sat there and, texted her this instead of coming onto social media about it, bashing her. And I just think that is, real sad because like y'all were really friends. Like y'all have been friends for years to let the industry and what people say come between y'all. It's not a lot of real friends out here, especially people that you can really trust. So to find people like that and for you to allow outside forces to destroy your friendship is really sad, because now you're going to be surrounded by people who truthfully don't have your best interests at heart. And I guarantee you get locked up again. They not about to put no money on your books. I know damn well Nicki not. But we can continue. She said, and I was sure there for her from the beginning, but y'all will see this in time that I'm not, never was, and never will be the problem. Have a nice day. Young Miami says, here we go. Okay. For you to come on here and try to play victim is crazy. Jatavian, that's how you know that, real friends are getting into arguments, because they always show each other's full names, calling each other by their full government names. All right, so you've been sneak dissing me for the last couple of days. I haven't said shit back to you. You made 2 whole diss songs dissing me, and I still rap your shit with my chest and show love. So what's the problem here? You let the internet put it in your head that I'm jealous of you. When you know I'm the one that always pushed us, you have resentment towards. And that's okay. I have resentment towards. I think she meant towards me, and that's okay. A bitch trying to kick me while I'm down and playing to these narratives is dangerous when I have been nothing but a friend to you. Which songs was you talking about? No Bars and Sideways. Girl, the internet told you that which songs was about you. The one saying it's city girl shit, even when it ain't city girl shit. That was released under City Girls, or the one that say riding solo, but I'm still in a group. Get your phone back from whoever this is, baby. Don't play with me. Oh, wow. You're really losing it. If you thought this was why not to speak, if you thought this, why not speak to me about it? You came on here and said LOL so people can ask why you feel you wasn't defending me. Attention seeking as usual. Like, y'all, the fact that this don't have no y'all know how my mind starts to read stuff that ain't got no punctuation in it. It starts to become like one big run-on sentence. So then Material Girl Saucy Tantana says, sheesh, I thought he was talking about Puff and all of those. So this is when JT, responds and says, reread what I said in case you didn't comprehend the first time. JT, you retweeted a Nicki Minaj stand asking why we didn't speak on Miss Pissy allegations, which refers to Diddy, not you. Everybody looking for answers and responses to that situation, which will be televised. You unblock me to insert yourself. I'm still confused. I'm the problem. I'm the villain. JT, you always throw me in some shit. You unfollow me and block me like I'm the person you got a problem with. Please address your issues head on with anybody and everybody you don't like. Stop taking it out on me. I don't need to be mentioned. FYI, I was initially asked to be co-host of Carisha Please. I declined and was guest host to people I was genuine friends with. JT, Lotto, Suki got scrapped. I don't need to be involved. I got my own motion. I mean, he got a little bit of point there. He does kind of have his own fan base now. He has, he does, he has what he got. No hate. All right, so now let me move on to this one. Child, they was just tweeting up a storm, chat. So JT responds back and says, you looking for clout. You looking for a way out of your situation. Who was the first person called when it all started? You're a sad fucking case. And then she says, not you. She says, you're weird, but always want to act like I'm a weirdo. You always mad. It's always a problem. And all I try to do is push you, tell you the shit. You can rap. You should model, etc. You always mad. You doing shit as you should. Congratulations, but somehow you still mad at me. I feel like that's what she was trying to say. She left off the me part, but I think that that's what, we were getting at here. All right. And then this is where JT says, if she's ever mad, then there's a reason behind closed doors. Young Miami says they spoke on the phone. She says, if I'm ever mad, I have a reason to be behind closed doors. You have done stuff to me that you think I should just get over. You never come to my defense when I've literally took a bullet for you. When CP popped off, I was there first episode. When someone canceled, I showed up in a red wig. Keep calling me mad like the internet do, but you know me, my heart pump gold. I wish you the best always, and I love how fast you got on here behind Santana. I mean, I think that's crazy because if her and Santana were friends as well before all of this stuff took off, why do you feel like she can't be equally as, down for Santana as she is about you? And I'm telling y'all because JT feels that Santana is just an accessory, but that's besides the point. Like, why are you mad because she's defending Santana? Because you're attacking him. Like, you're like, what are you doing? So Plies decide to get into this. Miss Bussy, baby. That one. Plies decides to get into this, y'all. And Plies says, bruh, ain't no way I'm witnessing two iconic. Now, iconic is a big word. Two popular females, I'll replace the word iconic for you, Plies, who built something special together, publicly bumping heads. It's cool to have differences, but not publicly. I felt the same way when two of my favorite male Florida artists was doing it. Who are those two favorite male artists? I can't recall. We too real for that. Does he mean Kaya and Trina? Like, who is he talking about? Ain't no way, Florida. If you my day one or somebody I was involved with personally, I don't care what we fall out about or what we fail out about. That's between me and you. If anybody asks me about it, I'd rather not answer it before I put them in our business. Our business is our business, and I'm going to stand on that. Now, I agree. I agree. I agree. But once you bring it to the social media, like, baby, it's a wrap. The end. JT and Young Miami are seemingly done arguing on X with a peaceful ending. Jatavia, I love you. I love you more. The tweet was before the phone conversation. Don't know why it didn't go through. Maybe because everyone blowing up my phone and it still stands. I'm glad to see you know how to respond. You nonchalant about everything else. Jatavia, I love you. I'm moving on. I love you more. I actually love you the most. This is real sad, y'all. Like, this is real sad because at the end of the day, I think that when you have a real friend, like, to see or to feel a break in your friendship is really heartbreaking. It almost feels like a breakup. And like, I really do hope that JT and Young Miami can find their way back to each other in their friendship and not allow the industry to tear them apart and pit them against each other like they have tried to do ever since, they came out. And I really do hope that they can rekindle, rebuild, and restructure their friendship to be even stronger than it was before. I really advise JT take a deep look at herself and who she's aligning herself with, because those people are not your friends. These people are not your friends like that. You do not have to take on the beefs of everybody that you decide to be cool with. You don't have to do that. And I feel that because she's real cool with Nicki, she feels that that's something that she's had to do, right? And I really do hate that for her, because I would love for Carisha and Young Miami to be back where they were, because I feel like when they were cool, when it felt organic, the music was better, the energy was better, the chemistry was better, and everything else was so entertaining. They both had, personalities that balance. Young Miami was funny and goofy, and JT was the nonchalant, quiet one. I felt like they had a balance. I felt like they had something working for them. And, especially because they came from my state, I really supported their music. I love the Period album. I love every song on there. I don't like any of their recent releases, but I just hope that they can, work this out, because none of this is worth it. None of this is worth it. JT changed when she got with Uzi. Is that true? Carisha don't even defend Santana for real, for real. She defends nobody on the internet. Exactly, because why are you defending yourself to randoms on the internet? Why are you going at random people on the internet? You don't know these people. They don't know you. Fuck what they gotta say. At the end of the day, I hope that they really can, rebuild their friendship. And I would really hate to see two girls who really pulled each other up out the mud and pulled each other up, up out of the hood and really got each other, stardom and celebrity and money, like comfortability, things they probably would have never had. They managed to get that for one another, and I really do hope that they can work through this. I don't like this, y'all. I don't like this. I don't care if Young Miami may be getting peed on Diddy allegedly. I don't, like, just because she getting peed on don't make her any less of a good friend. I probably have friends that get peed on too. To be honest, actually, I know I do. I ain't gonna even tell my friends' business. Like, y'all even know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So I hope that y'all can work this out. I hope that y'all can come to some type of resolution because hunty, this ain't it. Speaking of what's not it, y'all. Speaking of what's not it. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. Right. I really got into his album when I was in I think it was either my junior or sophomore year of college. I got into his KOD album. And I was like, wow, like this man is really spitting. And I know his KOD is probably not one of his most critically acclaimed albums and one of his most strongest bodies of works, but it really spoke to me on top of me being able to see his lyrical prowess, right? Now, one thing about J. Cole, if you ever took some time to listen to his music, J. Cole does this thing, and I call it the Nicki Minaj thing, where you claim that you're better than everybody, you're daring somebody to challenge you, you're daring somebody to, to say something to you, you're daring somebody to, to dish you and watch you get cooked. He literally wrote a whole like track of a diss record, I think towards what was his name? It was like some like little, it was some like one of them little rappers. What was the name? Lil Juju or something like that. But he literally wrote a whole diss to him towards like the end of the album, right? You amateur niggas that want to get rocked. I remember the lines, but he made it a point, over the few years to call himself, the best. Claim that he's the best, claim that nobody out here really out here outshining him, and then he likes to big up, the big three. He feels that the big three is him, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar. Now, him and Drake have, collaborated plenty of times. Him and Kendrick have collaborated here and there. They were actually rumored to be making an album together, but that ended up falling through for whatever reason that was. But long story short, I feel that as time has progressed over the years, I feel that J. Cole has kind of started to feel insecure in his placement within this big three that he's created in his head. And he's began to feel like he was at the bottom. People feel like it's either Kendrick, Drake, Cole, or Drake, Kendrick, Cole. It was never nobody saying J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick. Like nobody really feels, for the most part, besides J. Cole fans, that J. Cole has a true classic body of work that really shook the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm sorry. We have Damn. We have Big Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Those are very classic bodies of work. I would even say Mr. Morale and the Steppers and the Big Steppers is another classic body of work because of the artistic direction that he decided to take. He decided to take chances. He decided to do new things that were interesting, but maybe not making the best of songs. But he decided to try something, experiment, and push himself past, his limit, right? Then we have Drake. Drake has a lot of trash music. Don't argue with me, argue with your mama. However, Drake has a lot of hard classic bodies of work. Things will never be the same. If you're reading this, it's too late. Views from the Six, like you can just go on and on about the bodies of work that Drake has released, about which ones could be classic or not. Not saying that all of them is, because Drake will release some trash music, okay? However, continuing on, and I'm gonna just say, if you're reading this, it's too late, is my favorite album by Drake. I love the energy that he gave in that album. He was like, fuck all you niggas, period. I'm not fucking with y'all niggas. And I ain't got shit to prove. But anyway, so with all of that being said, it was always viewed that Kendrick and Drake were like either one or two. And J. Cole was always three. But then last year, J. Cole was rapping like he has, it was gonna be his last time. J. Cole was getting on everybody's features. J. Cole was out here tearing up everybody's songs. J. Cole was really rapping like he was the best on earth, Like he was really rapping like he was the best on earth. And and a lot of us started to believe that. Now, J. Cole has said in some interviews before that he was not really comfortable leaving his legacy where it was, where it was. I think it was probably on his second to last album that he released. And he said that he wanted to explore more, sounds, explore more artistic, creativity. He wanted to make sure that he was making music that was going to stand the test of time for his legacy, right? But him and Drake continue to make music together as well. And sometimes I feel that J. Cole would throw shots at, Kendrick, or throw shots about him being the best. Now, skip forward a little bit more. We are at 2024, and Kendrick features on this song called "Like That" by Future and Metro Boomin, right? So I'm gonna read y'all the lyrics real quick, okay? We can get into all of that afterwards, and then we're gonna talk about what happened there afterwards, and then what happened after that, and I'm gonna wrap all of this up, and then we can go home. Service will be done. All right, so Kendrick Lamar said, "These niggas talking out they pockets." Let me make sure y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right, so Kendrick Lamar said, "These niggas talking out they pockets. Don't pull no coffin out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT, the power, money, and respect. The last one is better. Say it's a lot of goofies with the check. I hope them sentiments symbolic. My temperament bipolar. I choose violence. Okay, let's get it up. It's time for him to prove that he's a problem. Niggas clicking up, but cannot be legit. No 40 water. Tell him, yeah, get up with me. Fuck sneak dissing, first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like fuck rap. This Melly Mel if I had to. Got 2 steeds with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos." I love this song, yo. Lost too many soldiers not to play it safe. If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the locations. I still got PTSD. Motherfuck the big 3. Nigga, it's just big me. Now this is where it really started to get heated in this verse, because we were already kind of seeing that he was out here throwing, shots about niggas clicking up, because he's talking about Drake and J. Cole. But then he goes into, fuck the big 3. Nigga, it's just big me. And he goes on to say, nigga bum, what? I'm really like that. I'm really like that. And your best work is a light pack. Nigga Prince outlived Mike Jack, nigga bum. For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these nines. He gonna see Pet Cemetery, nigga bum. Mind you, this diss was initially for Drake. I believe J. Cole got some shots in here, but I believe that majority of this was for Drake. Because I truthfully believe that Kendrick does not even take J. Cole seriously. Not saying that he doesn't believe J. Cole can rap, that he just feels that J. Cole is beneath him. And not only is J. Cole beneath him, he feels that Drake is beneath him. And if I'm being honest, lyrically and, talent-wise, I can agree. I do not think that Drake nor Kendrick can really out-rap. I mean, Drake nor J. Cole can really out-rap Kendrick in no way, shape, or form. Like that would never happen to me. And you can call it a bias because I'm from the West Coast all you want, but in my opinion, Kendrick eats these people alive. And I feel like Kendrick has proven to us time and time again that not only can he make music, but he can be lyrically, insane, as well as give us really good messages that we actually care about in songs that we actually want to bump. You know what I'm saying? So you could be lyrically inclined, but sometimes your songs could be boring. They don't really lock in with the audience like that. Nobody's really caring about your music like that. But Kendrick was able to do that with multiple albums. And I honestly feel like a lot of his music, majority of it is classic. I ain't gonna lie to you. But everybody started to really, really, really press for J. Cole to diss Kendrick. They were like, aren't you gonna respond? And they were also pressing Drake. Drake said this. Hold on. Let me pull up what Drake said, y'all. And I'm gonna talk about that before I get into J. Cole. Ciao. I really can't. But like, let's watch this real quick. So this is what he had to say.
Drake has appeared to send a message to his many emerging rivals, such as Kendrick Lamar, Future, Metro Boomin, and Rick Ross. Hey, it's Asia Sky for Hip Hop DX, and check this out. The hip hop world was ignited following Kendrick Lamar's scathing diss of Drake and J. Cole on the track Like That, which was released last Friday on the Metro Boomin and Future album, We Don't Trust You. However, so far, it appears that Drake is unfazed by the commotion. Posting various pictures on his Instagram of himself enjoying life, Drake wrote in the caption, "They rather go to war with me than admit they are their own worst enemy." And though Drake doesn't name names in the caption, the message appears to be a clear reference to his growing feud with both Kendrick and Future. Kendrick clearly dissed Drake on his guest verse on Like That, and he also referenced Drake and J. Cole's #1 hit, First Person Shooter, rapping,
"Fuck sneak diss and first person shooter, I hope they came with..."
Let me hold on. Cause y'all already know. Okay, we still gotta wait. Cause I ain't about to get striked. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't got time to get copyrighted.
Former friend Drake, with the two allegedly falling out over being involved with the same woman. On the track We Don't Trust You, Future rapped,
"You a nigga #1 fan, dog.
Okay, here we go again. I have to pause it because I can't get any of these copyrights, y'all. But this isn't what I wanted to see though. I wanted to see that live that he did. Give me 1 second. I think it's right here. Okay. Here we go.
With him. This kind of talk makes it clear Drake's feeling confident and ready for whatever comes his way.
A lot of people ask me how I'm feeling. I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. And listen, the way I'm feeling is the same way I want you to walk out of here feeling tonight about yourself. Because you know how I'm feeling? I got my head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a on this earth that can ever me in my life. And that's how I want you to walk out of here tonight.
But how did all of this start in the first place?
Really didn't feel
And
no
also,
way.
to reiterate, Drake was also talking about how he is just about good energy. And y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I just think Drake is a bitch. Like, it's funny how you don't have this energy for not Cole, but Kendrick. When Kendrick is coming at you in this song and basically calling you out to prove yourself the best because he feels that he's the best. But you can get on your motherfucking songs and you can diss Megan Thee Stallion. Like what? So when it's dissing a woman, it's cool. You all about the smoke there. When you can talk about she a stallion, but she lying, but she's still a stallion. You can do all of that shit, right? But when Kendrick talking, all of a sudden you niggas turn into brother love. It's all about love. It's all about feeling your inner peace. It's all about feeling your inner icon. It's all about feeling your inner legend. You gonna still walk around feeling like you the best. You didn't do that with Meek. You even do that. You didn't really even do that with Pusha T. Although he did eat your ass up in that story of Adidon. Although I do think the Duppy freestyle was a very strong, counter. But story of Adidon really did him in. But you got all of this energy for people like those people, especially women. You love to diss a woman in a song. But when Kendrick is on your ass, all of a sudden you brother love. All of a sudden you ain't got time. All of a sudden you ain't gonna respond to this. I'm out here chilling next to, a Sexy Red's ass cheek. What? Out of all the places to be, being next to Sexy Red's ass cheek is the response you want to put in to talk, to discuss about this J. Cole thing and this Kendrick stuff. How about you get in the booth and prove that you're the best? But the thing about it is, just like Nicki Minaj, just like J. Cole, you niggas love to say things, but don't prove it. Y'all can't back up the stuff that y'all say, but y'all want to sit here and be a bitch and diss women, but I ain't gonna even make it about that. But you knew that you could easily fuck up Meek Mill because number one, Meek Mill is not that lyrical of a rapper. You knew you could go at it with him. Then you tried to go out with a Pusha T, thought you could handle that, and then he ate your ass up, and then you got them niggas from Houston to come in like your dad. First, let's end all of this. Let's stop this. The beef is over. The beef is over. The beef is over. The beef is done. I said it's done. Jay Prince says it's done. Who the fuck is this nigga? Is this your dad or something? Why the fuck is he coming in on your behalf? Nigga, this is a rap beef. Nigga, if you don't get in the booth, hop on wax? Nigga, what? Are you serious? Y'all, when this man got Jay Prince to step in like his dad, I was done. I was done with Drake. I was done with him. I was like, he really a bitch. And then when he dissed Megan Thee Stallion, I was like, you even more of a bitch. That's insane to me. The beef done. I'm not, child, whatever. But anyway, now, not only was he getting pressured to respond, which he never did, but J. Cole was getting pressured to respond. He was probably feeling peer pressure. And I low-key feel like what J. Cole was going through is when your dad saw you about to get into with somebody and told you it's either you gonna fight him or you gonna fight me. And your daddy basically made you fight. And you basically had to go through with it, even though you didn't really want to. So J. Cole decided to put out a 7-minute diss record. Well, not 7 minutes, it's called 7-minute drill that came out on his Might Delete Later album. And I was shocked that this man included this diss in his album. I was like, wow. But to be honest, the diss wasn't even being really received that well. The diss was being thought of to be kind of weak. Kind of lackluster. It's nobody was really oh yeah, J. Cole fuck Kendrick up. It was no, you really could have came harder. Like yeah, you didn't really do what you really needed to do, and you had like damn near 2 songs that you mixed together, and you just still did not amount or surmount enough bars to really give Kendrick, what you say. And the thing about it is, y'all, this is my problem. You can't be a fan of a nigga. You can't have all of this praise for the nigga and then try to call his stuff, gassed and overrated. Like, nigga, you don't even believe that. Like, nigga, you calling me a part of the big 3 saying I'm one of the greatest rappers. Of course you don't believe what you're saying. Like, so the disses that you're giving me doesn't even make sense because you don't even believe that. Like, you don't even believe that. And I never really thought that J. Cole was going to be the type to respond because low key, I thought J. Cole was like Buddy Love. I thought J. Cole was like Mother Love, Earth hugging trees and shit. I didn't really think that J. Cole was going to like really respond to, Kendrick. And it's not to say that I don't think that J. Cole is a great rapper, because I do, but I didn't think that J. Cole was that type of person to really be going at it with people. Although that he's always in his songs talking about he's the best and challenging people to challenge him. When you really talk to him in these interviews and when you really listen to his verses as well, sometimes you would see that he's not really about going at it with people like that. Right? Which is why in majority of the times when he puts like, subliminal shots in his music, nobody can really respond because they're so general that we don't really know who he's talking about because he never puts a name on it. Now you have this 7-minute, you have this 7-minute, 7-minute drill song that you released, right? You have a 7-minute drill song that you released. Let's read it, y'all. I'm down with the shits. Hold on. All right. So he says, like work, it's like PWC. It's a cold world. Keep the heat under your seat. I got a phone call. They say that somebody's dissing. You want some attention? It comes with extensions. My dog say the word. He on bullshit, he itching. Then put me in so much work in these streets, he got pension. I told him chill out. How I look having henchmen. If shots get to popping, I'm the one doing the clinching. His first verse goes, I came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons. Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Now, this is when I knew he was on some bullshit. Yo, this is when I knew that he was on some bullshit. Because I was like, his second what? I was like, his second album put people to sleep. Like, you can't be serious. You don't believe what you're saying. So you telling me that Good Kid, Mad City was putting people to sleep, and you saying that people gassed to Pimp a Butterfly? Like, crazy work, y'all. I really can't. But let's continue. So he says, but they gassed your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine. Now I'm front of the line with a comfortable lead. How ironic. Soon as I got it, now he want to start something with me. Well, he caught me at the perfect time. Jump up and see, boy. I got here off of bars. No controversy. Funny thing about it, bitch, I don't even want the prestige. Fuck the Grammys, cause them crackers ain't never done none for me, ho. Slugs, part of me be feeling real weird when J. Cole be saying this crackers type of stuff and shit like this because his mama white. I just want to reiterate to y'all, J. Cole is biracial. Just like Drake. J. Cole does not come from 2 black parents. He is biracial. His mama is white. His mama is white. White. Shout out to Jesse Wu. His mama is white. Okay? Now, And I be feeling like because of that, he feels like he has to like project like a version of blackness, like this hotep, this brother, type of energy, because he knows when he pull up with his white mama, people are kind of looking at him like, damn, bro, like you talking about all this black stuff, but your mama white. Like it's giving that, because like he feels so uncomfortable with his his biraciality, I guess that's what you call, if you want to call it that he has to overextend his blackness. So we start to march into hotep, black people are the real Jews type of, conversations and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna continue. The brat beef ain't realer than the shit I seen in Cumberland. Nigga, where the fuck is Cumberland? He averaging one hard verse like every 30 months or something. If he dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him. Lord, don't make me have to smoke this nigga cause I fuck with him. But push come to shove on this mic, I will humble him. I'm Nino with this thing. This that new Jack City meme. Yeah, I'm aiming at G Money crying tears before I bust it. Now I ain't gonna get into like the second verse, because at the end of the day, it really was giving that he was coming in short with this diss. It was not that good. I was excited when it dropped because I was just happy that he even said something. I was like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Cole. Proud of you, man. Sometimes you gotta talk to Cole like that, because you gotta remind Cole that he half white. So you gotta be like, good job, Cole. Good job, man. Gotta do that. Gotta do that little head nod thing, like that. So I was really proud of him. I was like, okay, he's like, I guess he gonna prove it. But in my mind, I was like, now, I really hope that you're able to stand on what you're saying in this diss record, because if Cole comes back, it's gonna be a dead body. And if Kendrick comes back, it's gonna be a dead body, but it's not gonna be Kendrick's. It's gonna be yours. It's a reason why Drake ain't responding. And Drake ain't even backing you up when you doing this. Y'all niggas playing chess in music videos, and this nigga ain't even helping you in this diss. If an up and coming rapper call him Unc, he nutting right there where he says, yeah, like this nigga want to be the uncle so bad. Like J. Cole, but there's nothing wrong with that. J. Cole he's a nice guy. J. Cole's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Doesn't really mean that, he ain't got no mean streak in him like that. Like Kendrick can be fucking evil, man. Like Kendrick about that shit. He's highly competitive. He's highly egotistical, and he want his shit to be the best, and he wants to fight the best, and he believes that he can do that. Honestly, if you ask me, I really don't believe that this diss that Kendrick did, he really even wanted a response. I literally feel like he was just saying, I don't give a fuck what you niggas say. Y'all are not better than me. Y'all do not compare to me. And I would really like it if you niggas stop, because that will never be true. You niggas are not as good as me, and it's never going to happen. Y'all are not built like that. And to be honest, they're not. They're not. They're not. That whole diss that J. Cole put out, Kendrick's one verse on Like That was way more better. And mind you, like Kendrick's whole verse on Like That caused all of this ruckus to happen. And he didn't even say a whole bunch of shit like that. Right? You get what I'm saying? So then less than 48 hours later, y'all, I literally went to bed, woke up for work, got on YouTube while I was getting ready, and y'all, this nigga J. Cole copping please. This nigga J. Cole apologizing. Nigga, what? Nigga, I know you ain't apologizing to this nigga. I'm about to play his apology. I I really can't, y'all. Like, so give me a second. Give me a second. I'm about to pull it up. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to find the video myself because I don't want. Okay, here we go. I think this is it. Okay, cool. All right, so let me share this tab.
Moved in a way that was in my spirit of trying to like get this music out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my back and I try to keep it friendly. But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that and in that trying to find a little angle and downplay this catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a microphone? We know. Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct?
So do you.
As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bro, that was the lamest, like goofiest, and I say all that to say it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my really didn't feel no way. And if he did, got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, y'all are like forgiving for like the misstep and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The past 2 days felt terrible. Like, it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, you did. Like, first of all, sir, what we're not about to do is play like you did not just put out. You can't just take it back. You can't take it back. Like, nigga, this is hip hop. Like, you claim all the time that you want somebody to test you, that you want somebody to challenge you, that you dare somebody to do it. And then when they do, and you diss back, you apologizing? So you apologizing for putting out a diss for a nigga that dissed you? How does that work? Like, my nigga, I'm gonna need you to never, ever, ever once claim that you're not, I'm sorry, you can't be top 3 for me. For any, I like, and the crazy thing about it is, I don't think Cole understands how this is really about to hurt his career. Like, nigga, this is literally the most embarrassing thing. This is more embarrassing than, well, shit. I don't really think that the male rappers really had something like this that embarrassing happen, like a nigga apologizing for a diss, and then compliments the diss that they put that was put out against them, and then basically calls you the greatest. So you just doubling back, copping. Please, are you scared that Kendrick is about to come back and literally destroy you, and you're really not about that? Cause you're not about that type of life. Like, now, nigga, you let a whole bunch of people down, like, including me. Like, when J. Cole released that disc, I kind of knew. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to stand behind this. But never in a million years would I think that your ass will be apologizing, talking about shit made you not sleep at night, talking about that it disrupted your peace. Nigga, what? Nigga, who? So your response to a diss record against you disrupted your peace. why the fuck did you even release the shit in the first place? And then he goes on and say, like, so basically, y'all, what was happening, like, he's doing the Dream Fest down there in Raleigh right now. So they were getting ready to play the next song on his album, which was going to be 7-minute drill. And he says, like, his people was out here saying, like, no, don't do it, Cole, don't do it, Cole. So he stops it and gives us this whack ass apology and apologizes to us. Nigga, we don't want no apology. Number one, we don't even, it's not that deep. Like, it's rap. Y'all don't have no personal beef. We understand that. We don't think that y'all are about to get to banging gats at each other. Nobody thinks that. Like, all we wanted was some bomb ass disses back and forth. We wanted a super ugly and an ether. That's what we wanted. That's what you claimed that you could have did, but you didn't do that. See, I don't know. Like, I know I'm not that old because I know I'm only 29, but I promise y'all, growing up, really, really listening to a lot of Nas and Jay-Z as I was growing up, because my mama loved Nas, and I always liked Jay-Z myself. Like, I never once, like, I would have you will never hear Nas apologizing for dissing on niggas. Like, yeah, after we diss each other, we can make amends. And, like, you know, get over shit as a collective and make a bomb ass song together after we done put down all of these bomb ass bars and music. But nigga apologizing? Nigga, what? You apologizing when a nigga diss you? Sheesh. I cannot even relate to that. I cannot relate to that shit. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And it's like he's up here acting like he's just, oh, my bad. Like, you know, I take it back. I'm going to pull it off of streaming. Like, nigga, pulling it off of streaming ain't going to do shit because people are still going to have it pirated on YouTube and everybody. Like, the diss is still out there. You said it. You can't take the shit back. You had it out. You might as well stand on it. And if you lose this rap battle, you lose. Like, even motherfucking Jill Scott got into it to say, obviously, the shit ain't really that deep. It's just bars. And she was really excited about it. She had no idea, and neither did me. Did we expect your motherfucking ass to come here and apologize? It's really giving, I'm sorry, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona. I'm sorry for lying to you, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona. It's giving that. It's giving, I'm sorry I lied to you, Martin. I just couldn't go to Arizona. Like, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed, y'all. I'm so, like, you, like my nigga, you could have just took the shit off of the streaming platforms and we would have been okay. But the apology, and then you calling him the greatest. So you did all of that in your rap to recant it and call Kendrick the greatest. So what was you even saying? So it's true, you didn't even believe the shit that you was talking about. I'm sorry I lied to you, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona. I'm sorry I lied to you, Kendrick. I just had to release a diss record. Like, what? Ooh, this, like, and like, this, it's about to get real rough for you, Kendrick. I'm not Kendrick, but J. Cole. It's about to be real rough. You better hope. Yo. And like I'm saying, like, I don't think that J. Cole is a bad guy. I think that J. Cole is just really a nice guy. He's just a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But if Kendrick is like the West Coast, if Kendrick is West Coast like I am and a lot of other people from the West Coast, he's going to be even more petty about this and continue to embarrass you and drive you down. That's if he really want to be petty about it. You better pray that you better pray. You better pray that Kendrick has enough kindness in his heart not to still respond to you and still embarrass you. Like, because you embarrass yourself enough. Like, this is sad, bro. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. This must be your white side. It truthfully can't be the black side. I'm gonna blame. I'm gonna say it's your Macklemore side, your Jack Harlow side. It can't be the black side with the with the locks and in the Afro lock. It can't be that, bruh. It can't be. And it's like y'all. I swear, it felt like the nigga was scared. Like he was in fear of his life on that stage. Like he was like, I'm sorry I lied to you, Kendrick. I just didn't want to release a diss record. Like what? Y'all, I'm so disappointed. And now people are trying to gaslight us and try to make us seem like we crazy for talking about the shit that Kendrick that J. Cole did. You apologizing, talking about we just want to see black people argue. No, nigga, it ain't about arguing. Rap beef is a part of rap. Like lyrical back and forth shouldn't even get that deep. Like they used to do it all the time in the 80s. Like Roxanne Shante, The Real Roxanne, UTF, KRS-One, Corrupt and LL Cool J. Like it always happened. But now, like, we got to act like all of a sudden that this was going to turn into some type of East Coast, West Coast thing. And like J. Cole had to stop and, think about things. And like, no. The reason why we're clowning J. Cole is because he wants to be touted as the best. And he lyrically challenged, Kendrick on par with Kendrick's challenge to him. Well, it really wasn't a challenge for Kendrick. Kendrick basically said, like, I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas say. Y'all trash and I'm better than both of y'all, period. I'll kill either one of y'all. That's what Kendrick was really saying. But you responded back, but now you want to recant and apologize. You a fucking clown. And you played yourself. Nigga, you the donkey of the day. If Charlotte Maine has not made J. Cole the donkey of the day yet, I'm gonna be shocked. Cause this is the most goofiest shit I have ever. You gonna have to hide out for a while after this. You ain't gonna be able to just walk around. People about to be looking at you crazy because like you really embarrass yourself. And then you literally came from under Jay-Z. Like one of the people who made one of the most disgusting, one of the most personal diss records towards Nas, talking about he left a condom on, the baby's car seat. Y'all, I'm sad. I'm saddened by this. I just really hope that Kendrick don't do it. Kendrick, leave it alone, Kendrick. Kendrick, don't do it. Leave him alone, Kendrick. He don't want to fight. Leave him alone, Kendrick. He don't want to fight. He don't want to fight, Kendrick. Leave him alone. Don't bully this young man. Don't bully him. Charlemagne gave donkey of the day to those who made fun of him apologizing. Figures. This obviously it's some clown shit. But J. Cole had all that smoke for no name. We just talked about that. How like these niggas will be dissing women, but when a nigga diss y'all, all of a sudden it's brother love. All of a sudden y'all about love. Shit's fucking up y'all spirit at night. Nigga, y'all gotta realize the inner God in you. Y'all gotta realize that it was you all along. That you was that the love and peace was inside you. Nigga, fuck y'all niggas. Hold on, y'all. I'm just making sure y'all can hear me, child. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this. Hold on. All right, let me hide myself. Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, y'all. Oh Lord. Okay, I can hear myself. Okay, I start getting a little weird. So I have to make sure I turn the camera off because sometimes I have other people on my Wi-Fi. It can kind of overload because I'm up here uploading video in 1020p, 1080p. I'm sorry, but yes, y'all. Yeah, this is crazy. His spirit should have been fine if men went up for that weak ass verse. I'm saying I'm so disappointed in you, Cole. You really the little boy from the Martin show. I'm sorry I lied to you, Martin. Just didn't want to go to Arizona. It's you should be ashamed of yourself. Nigga, I bet not hear from you for a week. Don't come back home for a week. I'm gonna need you to take a vacation. Nigga, you gotta go until we forget about this. Nigga, and you doing this all before the release of your huge album, The Fall Off? Are you serious? Sheesh. Crazy. Sorry I lied to you, Martin. Sorry I lied to you, Kendrick. I just didn't mean to release a diss record. Please don't diss me, Kendrick. You're the best. Nigga, you are a clown. I'm sorry. And I said, it don't mean that you're not a good person. I'm here saying J. Cole is a good person. I can tell. He's a nice guy. However, after this J. Cole, you are forever either at 3 or below. You will never be in anybody's top spot. You will never be that. When this all goes down and the greats are remembered, niggas are gonna remember you for apologizing for a nigga dissing you. That's gonna be a stain on your legacy. And I don't think you understood. Nigga, you should have consulted with Jay-Z about this. Nigga, you should have talked to Nas about this. Nigga, you should have got a Reiki healing. Nigga, you should have went meditate. You should have time will tell who is on my side. Time will tell just who is on my side. I mean, well, I respect Will Smith more. Yeah, I really can't, y'all. I really can't side with Cole. I can't. And I love J. Cole music, y'all. Y'all don't know. KOD is always getting played. When I was in college and I was a Uber driver, when I was Ubering and lifting people around, I stayed playing that KOD album. And then the Forest Hill Drive. But this is crazy, bro. But I guess Team Cole took a loss. Y'all gonna be hurt out there. Now, me personally, I can say, although I'm a huge J. Cole fan, I'm an even bigger Kendrick Lamar and Drake fan. Although I do feel like majority of Drake's songs recently are trash, and I do feel like he's a bitch. But at the end of the day, I can appreciate majority of his music, of his content. But I'm lost for words, Cole. It really is a cold world out there. I don't know what you're gonna do after this, bruh. You might have to turn into a deacon at the Episcopal Baptist Church. Okay, you might have to do a sit down with TD Jakes after this. You might have to you might have to get into a Christian rap with Lecrae after this. Look. This hip hop shit. I don't know this big bad hip hop community. Is this shit for you, bruh? You might have to. I don't know, y'all. But yeah, y'all. That's all I got for y'all today. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of y'all day. Look, love yourselves. Don't ever let nobody dish y'all and y'all apologizing for it. Okay. Okay. I gotta go. Okay. Like, so I'm about to end this. I'm sorry I lied to you, Kendrick. I just didn't want to go to Arizona.